dear professors, alumni, students, and dear guests. Firstly, I would like to thank those who have organized this event and those who have given me this special opportunity to talk. Today, I would like to talk about the change in perception by giving. The change in perception that I am referring to is the change in it's a change in impression that someone has on you because of your actions rather than your words. And this action that I am referring to is the action of giving. Giving up your resources, giving up your time, giving up these for the sake of others. And it is convenient because currently we are in the month of Ramadan, the month of giving. In this month, we not only give up food and drink from sunrise to sunset, but we also give up our desires. Because these desires make us ungrateful. And people ask, why do you fast this month? And there are many different answers out there. Each one is more correct than the other. But my answer to that is so that we can feel the deprivation and the hunger and the thirst that others may feel on a regular basis. And it creates a sense of community and interconnectedness with them. And this is what brought Masiha, the Muslim Association of Southern Indiana for Health Advancement. It has Indiana's first free multi-specialty healthcare clinic, and it has the Tri-State's first free emergency food assistance program. And today I would like to talk about this lovely organization and how it reshaped charity. Firstly, a background of Masiha. Masiha was initiated by a few Muslim physicians. They came across this narration by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The believer's faith is incomplete if they become full from eating and or drinking while their neighbor is suffering. Now these neighbors, they are not literal. These neighbors are figurative. These neighbors are those who are all around us in our community. And if we have abundance, we must give to these neighbors. And there, Masiha was initiated, facilitated by the guilt of living carelessly, living while there are neighbors out there suffering. Let's talk about the name Masiha. Masiha is the Arabic word for Messiah or Jesus. Now, why would the founder of Masiha choose this? It's because the US is predominantly Christian. And out of the many similarities that Muslims and Christians share, one similarity is their love for Jesus, because they get to follow the footsteps of a miraculous prophet, a miraculous entity, a miraculous man who is capable of healing both spiritually and physically. Another reason they chose the name Masiha, specifically Muslim Association of Southern Indiana for Health Advancement, is because the founder wanted to show people what Islam is really about. Because there are misconceptions about Islam, especially nowadays. Now let's jump into the services that Masiha offers. First, with the clinic. The clinic is run by 25 board-certified physicians in 14 different medical specialties. And once I started volunteering there about 4 years ago, I noticed something. I noticed that whenever someone walks in, they do not initiate an investigation to make sure this individual truly doesn't have healthcare insurance. No. And it was difficult to grasp, but it's because they rely on dignity and trust. And in fact, dignity and trust, they're the first steps of giving. They're more important than the service itself because it allows the recipient to feel comfortable. And in fact, the Quran mentions, do not nullify your charity by reminding the recipient of your generosity or hurting them. Now let's talk about the mobile food pantry. The mobile food pantry, it donates groceries to various locations in Evansville and in neighboring cities as well. But I am the most fond of the emergency assistance program, because this emergency assistance program, it addresses the needs of those who are disabled or lack means of transportation. Once such person calls, a volunteer has about 24 hours to deliver groceries to them. And what I found interesting is that even physicians, they go out to these impoverished areas to deliver groceries, which is an act of humbleness and humility. This is the other important thing about giving. First, it was the dignity and trust, and now the humility and humbleness. These are more important than the service itself because it allows the recipient to feel comfortable. It allows the recipient to feel acknowledged. And this is what contributes to the happiness of giving. This is the sincerity of giving. And what I also notice about the mobile food pantry is that whenever we give, it creates a cascade effect in which whoever we help keep helping others, and they kept helping others, and so on and so forth. And it's because they must have felt obligated to do so. And it's because attitudes are contagious. Whenever we show this humility and humbleness and dignity and trust towards them, they are most likely going to continue giving and helping those in the community. And this is what creates this interconnectedness in community. Because this interconnectedness in community, it cannot be done alone. It has to be done with a group effort. Now let's come back and look at ourselves, because giving changes our perception. Giving changes our perception of life in terms of what we need and want. We start to realize that these materialistic things are less important because we surround ourselves with those who are less fortunate. We start focusing on the human necessities, and it's because each one of us has a soul that feels uneasy when we see someone deprived of a human necessity. A soul that feels uneasy when we see someone suffering. And in fact, the Quran mentions, you will never achieve righteousness until you donate some of what you cherish. And this applies for those of us who may not believe in God. Think about the flow of emotions from individual to individual. Think about the experiences. It's an exceptional experience. It cannot be replicated. But it has to be done with sincerity. It has to be done with humility and humbleness and trusting and dignity. Because this is what brings about happiness. And people go miles to find happiness through entertainment and social media. But the true happiness is in giving. Hence, I feel Masiha has really changed my perception of life. It changed my perception, it changed my characteristic as well. Because when you implement humility and humbleness and trust and dignity, it really changes what type of giver you are. And it changes how the recipient perceives you as well. So I encourage more and more volunteers in our community to continue giving, because this giving, it allows for the interconnectedness in community. It allows the sustenance for every resident in this city. Thank you.